Hey everyone, ready for the visual novel part?
Oh,
So,
boy, I love Danganronpa.
I can't be the only person who, upon seeing this game, thought Celeste must be the name of the character.
Nope, it's the name of the mountain.
Yeah. Apparently
Well, I
there
know
is a
that
real-life
now, but-
Mount Celeste in Canada, too, that they based this on. And people
To Canada, then.
and people have now left snarky reviews on the mountain about how it keeps on trying to kill them on, like, Google and stuff.
Uh,
Man, Ace Attorney got really weird when they started talking about how mountains were trying to kill all lawyers.
what?
Honestly, that's... Okay, so we were talking about how this is the visual novel portion. Although, really, considering that we had The Country that hates all lawyers and robots and whatever, and Ace Attorney 7 about a mountain that wanted to kill all lawyers wouldn't be that weird, but it would still be stupid. So, Spirit of Justice is so bad. Sorry, I know that's touchy for some people, but whatever.
But yeah, based on how long this goes when I show all the dialogue options and the level ahead, this was the only real decent cutoff point. So yeah, this is plot.
Celeste Metal Gear Solid Edition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
this
are-
is only 13. This is only 13 minutes, though.
When are we going to get to the Metal Gear games, by the way? I mean, I know I'm recording 2, but we need to do 1 first. It's not
The
one of
only
those
ones we're
series
gonna
that
end.
just
The
stick
only ones we're
around.
probably gonna. The only ones we're probably gonna wind up doing are 1 and 2, because everything else is well, maybe 3, but
Yeah. Well,
we're not gonna be doing any of the 2D ones because those aren't very good games.
but
Well,
everyone
we need
loves
to-
Ghost Babel, Ryan. Gosh.
We need
Ugh.
to do 4.
We can't do 4.
it's
It would
the
literally be 5 parts
conclusion.
of. We can't do 4. It would literally be 5 parts of cutscenes.
5 parts of copyright claim. Yeah, I can see how that would be a problem.
Well, the original games would be copyright claimed too, because Konami's Konami and Konami sucks. Wait, sorry. Konami's Konami and Konami's the worst. That's how you're supposed to say it. Never mind.
Yeah.
No, what you're supposed to say is hashtag fuck Konami.
Okay. Oh, see, branching dialogue. Oh man, guys, we've hit it. We're in Mass Effect territory, where if you're Paragon, your hair stays red, and
Come
if you're
on,
Renegade,
come
you become
on.
more purple.
Come on, Mass Effect is like... It has more than 2 options, sometimes.
Sometimes.
They actually stopped adding a 3rd option to Mass Effect 3's dialogue because the neutral option was something nobody ever picked because you felt punished for it. But 3 was also the game that introduced the neutral reputation points so that those kind of options would actually be worth something. It just seems so counterproductive to introduce that system in the same game that you get rid of the neutral dialogue for most of the stuff.
Celeste, the Telltale game. Just
Theo will remember that.
So what happens here as far as purple hair goes?
So purple hair isn't really technically around all the time. She basically just manifests herself from time to time because she's basically just a representation of her anxieties, pretty much. So whenever Madeleine gets like really anxious or whatever, or there's spooky magic crap going on, she'll pop up. But she won't always be there. Like when she's just talking to Theo right now, she's pretty calm. So she's not really around at this point. We do see her later in this part, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One thing I also do like, too, is that she doesn't really feel like she has a reason to climb the mountain. It's just so that she can prove that she can do something to herself. Which,
And it has to be something hard.
yeah, which I think makes sense, because a lot of the times we do things without really having a reason a lot of the time in real life. Like,
My brain focuses on these stupid things that happened forever ago. I should be over them. That is the most real thing ever. I'm sorry. I've had those moments.
You want to know? Let's do something really scary. Yes, let's go to bed early and be alone with our thoughts.
remember that one time in 4th grade where you accidentally called someone a booger, but you didn't mean it, and you felt really bad, and you said sorry, but they were still upset? Man.
There are embarrassing things that I did like well over 10, 15 years ago that sometimes my brain will just latch onto for some reason.
Happens to everyone.
It's the worst. And get mad at people.
Also, you love the internet. That is also the most real thing.
Yeah, so if you choose the I should get some sleep option, you just skip all this and then go to bed. basically. I think if you choose enough dialogue, that option goes away because the game realizes...
That's the best answer.
Therapy session.
Man, I wish that therapy was just easy as going to a mountain and talking to someone.
I also wish it didn't cost as much.
Well, I mean, this is Canada, so she probably, or a therapist probably would be covered on her insurance. Wait, no, it would be free, because Canada has free healthcare. Man. Well, I mean, to be fair, though, Canada might have free healthcare, but it also has demon ghost mountains. So, does that even itself out?
Yeah, where they trade off. It's easier to avoid a mountain than hospital bills.
Good point. And if you do need hospital bills after climbing the mountain, at least they're free. So, you know.
Yep.
So, like, whenever I see someone talking about depression in depth, they always have to resort to these kind of really flowery descriptions of stuff.
It's unfortunately one of those things that's just impossible to really explain because it happens to everyone differently.
Yeah. It's not like you'll see a lot of like antidepressant pills commercials on TV where you'll see sad white women staring out a window and crying, and I don't think that that's most people's experience with depression. Like you'll see a lot of, again, it happens to everybody differently. But the only way to really understand it is to go through it yourself, which is not.
When I think depression, I generally think of more of a slump than crying sessions. Crying, I usually associate with actually letting your feelings out,
and that's basically I mean, obviously, if you're depressed, you probably will have a bout of crying every once in a while. But for a lot of people, like, it's just kind of like laying on the bed staring at the ceiling and not doing anything.
Almost entirely an internal thing, so...
Yeah, I mean, again, it does happen to every different person differently, but sometimes somebody can be severely depressed but still able to, like, go to work or whatever and put in the bare minimum. It varies so drastically from person to person that you can't,
metaphors are kind of necessary in order to explain it to someone.
Yeah, in order to explain your experience, at the very least.
Yeah. Because you can't literally get inside their head and feel what it's like.
Yeah, unfortunately, in real life, purple manifestations of your emotional issues don't pop out to explain how they exist to everyone else. So, you know, that kind of sucks. Man, what a Shovel Knight ripoff sitting at a campfire. Didn't they know that Shovel Knight invented that?
Shovel Knight invented campfires, yeah. The Boy Scouts. The Boy Scouts traveled back in time after playing Shovel Knight and stole the concept. And then the cavemen traveled forward in time and stole it further back.
Little did you know that the monolith from 2001: A Space Odyssey is just a boxed copy of Shovel Knight. That's sparked you.
Stonehenge was, in fact, a very primitive attempt to build a supercomputer that could run Crysis, but all it could run was Shovel Knight, so...
Alright, if it could run Shovel Knight before, like, asteroids, that's pretty impressive.
We still don't know what Stonehenge is.
Nope. It probably was just rocks, basic. What if it was just natural? Like, what if rocks just happened to fall there? You know,
in a perfect circle.
It could.
Weirder things have happened.
Yes.
In a repeated pattern that looks like gateway arches. No.
It'd be funny if that was the actual explanation. It's just one big coincidence, but.
The actual explanation probably isn't even all that interesting.
Nah, it probably was just like...
It's just not knowing that gets people to think about it, you know?
Yeah, probably.
The human brain does not do well with a lack of resolution.
Yeah, you know, is Stonehenge 720p, 4K? We'll never know. You know?
Apparently Celeste being a haunted creepland is pretty well known.
I wonder if that's based off if, like, the actual Like, the actual mountain in Canada has a reputation for being haunted. Although, granted, almost everything has a reputation for being haunted, pretty much.
It's so weird, though. Like, we've got this snowy mountain with a hotel on it that might be a reference to The Shining, but the story plays out more like Silent Hill, which was a reference to The Shining anyway. And
then Silent Hill had Kindergarten Cop in it.
Let me take a selfie.
Wait, does that option only pop up if you ask all the questions?
Yes, it does.
Well, most of them.
Yes, it does. I think you can skip a handful, maybe, if you do things right, but again, you can just, I think, press start at any point and skip the cutscene anyway.
The cutscene.
So if you don't care or just going for speed or whatever, don't jinx it. I love the art in this game too, is also the thing. Like, the way that the character portraits are drawn doesn't clash with the sprite art, even though in some other games it might. Like, you'll see certain... Actually, this is something that was brought up with, like, the Steam port of Chrono Trigger, where it's just, like, people said that, oh, the way that the font is styled here, it clashes with the sprite look of the game, but it doesn't really have that effect here in this game, probably just due to the general art design as a whole.
Yeah, goddamn Steam mobile ports.
Oh my lord, what is happening up there in the sky?
Aurora Borealis.
Is called...
At this time of day, located entirely on top of a haunted mountain.
Yes, that's where it usually happens.
Can we climb and see?
Purple hair says no.
Aw. Hi, purple hair. Pseudo 3D.
Ooh. Animated sprites. Actually, I think they probably could do a mode... I'm surprised they didn't do a mode where you could play as the purple variant at some point.
You're not me.
It's okay that you're a jerk.
I'm just gonna kill you now. Or leave you all alone. Becca.
Oh god. Oh yeah, that freaked me the hell out when she started creeping out of the box there the first time I...
Ringu, yeah.
Oh yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, feather time. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Wait.
Oh, that's how we solve our problems.
I'm guessing it moves more erratically this time.
Sort of.
No.
No, it moves at the same pace, actually, because it's all about...
But you'll see.
Yeah, you'll see.
It's trying to calm down, and...
Yeah,
nope.
it gets harder, though, is the thing, because the feather...
Yeah, sometimes anxiety and depression shit happen, and no matter of stuff will help you get through that actually happening, is the thing.
I think the interesting thing about this game, though, is, like, there have been quite a few games that have, tried to symbolize this kind of thing. Like, not a whole lot, but enough that there's a trend there. They're usually not gameplay games. They're usually more like experience games, like Yumi Niki's the obvious one to point to. There was another one that I can't remember. They're games that play out sort of like the likes of Journey. You know what I'm saying? Where it's not really a challenge. It's more just a thing that you experience your way through to the end. That's the only word I have for it.
Yeah, because that's a good point. It's not really... This is trying to take that experience and make it part of a challenging game. Let's just call it that. And it does a great job with that, I think, as well.
And like the only other game that pops up off the top of my head that does that kind of thing with a depression angle is Silent Hill 2. But I wouldn't exactly call that a challenging game. It's not very hard. It is a game. you do play your way to the end. You can lose, you can win. There are multiple endings, but this is the first
Dog
one.
ending.
This is the first one that I can think of that is also a really hard game.
Yeah, because we'll talk about this more next time, but
well, the other
battling
one is
depression or
Hellblade, but-
anxiety is hard. Like, it's not
Yeah.
easy.